All right, this is our 21 Prius engine bay portion. I always start here by just checking hoses, belts, and everything, make sure they're in good condition. I didn't find any rips or tears or anything. You'll get like this kind of like haze on there, but it's from the treatments they put when they clean these cars at the dealer. Kind of see the wet shine on there. It's all right, it looks real good. Dust and stuff will stick to it pretty quickly, but newer battery on there, good shape. Voltages were really nice on the readings for our codes. Engine looks really good shape. While I'm in here, I always like to look at our crash bars, make sure all these bolts and everything look like they haven't been touched. No wrinkles, no overspray or different spray. So key things like that bolt's not been touched. These bolts haven't been touched down here. Good shape there. This one's a little harder to see just with the battery in the way. The camera might not be able to pick it up too well, but you see down in here, same story. The bolts down in there have not been touched. Everything looks really solid, straight, and unmodified. Easy thing on these with the aprons. It's a little dirty, right? But it's just dirt. No damages or anything like that. Always look at these welds, make sure they don't look like they've been redone, and make sure they stay the same both sides. So overall looks really good. These vehicles, the engine doesn't really get much in RPM. I know some people, if you use really good oil, you just could do like once a year oil changes on these. Toyotas are really good about stuff like that. They tend to run pretty clean. Pull a stick and I'll show you what I'm talking about. It's on there, but it's just that clean. So that's what we like to see. Usually if a Toyota's visible on the oil, I'm a little worried because it should never get in there long enough to cause any kind of discoloration with these cars. They do really well. It's going to conclude our engine bay. We're going to do a quick exterior run on the car. Overall pretty clean, nice red color. We do have some imperfections. You can see some dents here with some paint chipping. Pretty deep chips. We got a little bit of like a misaligned here. You can kind of see the shadow. That's why I always put the car facing the sun. There is a little dent here, almost like the door got opened a little too wide or swung it open too hard. Some chips all along the front of the hood here. You can just kind of see them like rock chips essentially. Front bumper, that lower portion has some scuffs. These low cars, big curbs, big entryways around here. This side not too bad. On the rear door here, we got a pretty good notch there, and then once again the bumper misaligned on that back portion. And then we'll be reviewing the crash supports and everything. We do have some chips, scratches. Looks like they were loading and unloading quite a bit of stuff in this thing. Top does have a roof rack system. Looks like a factory one. That's pretty cool. It's got the Toyota badges on there. Didn't see any keys or anything when I was digging around in there. This does have the safety sense and everything on there with the radar. Did notice, you know, some of the stuff's not clipped in. And we don't have a factory windshield here. Normally it'll say like Toyota or something. So, but no noise. The safety system all worked out as intended. Sometimes aftermarket glass will mess with that, but it checks out really good there. It's going to be your quick exterior. All right, this is going to be our undercarriage portion. You can kind of see that front lip a little more. Some scrapes from the curbs and everything. Low entries, but skid plate's in good shape. All the hardware there and everything's uptight, not hanging or anything like that. That's what we like to see. These cars have a lot of, like, you'll see plating all the way back for aerodynamics, just to make it less drag. We're going to hit each corner here. All right, this is the driver front corner, your lift point area, body. Looks all really good, no rust or anything. I always like to go down the whole frame or the body here. Really good, nothing rusty, nothing flaking, nothing looks like it's been whacked. So that's really good. Go over to the rear corner here. Lift point's in good shape. Lots of covering. We'll get more from the rear on the suspension here. Alright, so this is gonna where you see your crash supports, your body, emission stuff, suspension, control arms, all really good shape. You can see a good tread on the tire too. Muffler's in good shape. We're gonna hop over next side. So there's your tailpipe. That's gonna be your crash support above that, and your chassis. Everything looking good there. Same as this. Now we're gonna hop to the corners again. Alright, so this is our passenger side. It's gonna be our lift point, chassis, body here. All good shape. Nothing hangling, nothing dangling. Go to the front. Lift point there, good shape. Doesn't look like it's been crushed. Body, nothing flaking, all good. They really tucked the cats up on these. You can kind of see the bottom of it. They were getting robbed on the older ones, so I think they learned a little bit on the design. That's going to conclude our chassis. Everything looks good here. Kind of see in on the brakes while I'm over here. They have recently been replaced while they had it at the dealer at least. Just want to throw that out there. Alright, we're going to do the interior portion here. This is our 21 Prius. This is equipped with all the steering wheel controls here. This does have adaptive cruise, lane keep, steering wheel warmer, voice talk. All of that works as intended. These clusters are a little off center here in the middle of the car. Current mileage at the time of drive, we're at 114,752. This is going to give you all your information. You can go through and play. Like, there's a lot of safety settings, assists and everything on the vehicle. Kind of customize what you see and how you see it. No warnings or anything on there. This does have a touchscreen and everything here. The map is not subscribed to, but everything else works as intended. Backup camera there works nice. This does have one of the it's like a silent alarm. It basically, anytime these electric cars are in motion in reverse, it's just so people can see that they're moving. I guess it's like an audible alert. Climate control works really well. This does have an eco mode on the climate. You can turn that off to get a little more power out of it. Heat works great, and the AC works really good. Everything was pretty frozen when I got the car today, so that worked out great to test. And this does have heated seats as well. Now I'm going to open up all the doors and kind of give you a blown up view. Alright, so we're looking out in, right? So this does have all-weather mats in the car. They are the Toyota Prius ones. They look really good. It does have a leather. They're not power seat operation. This is your up and down adjustment. That is your back adjustment, and the rail slide on there. All the seats are in really good shape. Didn't see anything that stood out to me. All the buttons and everything on the doors work as intended. Doors are in really good shape inside. One thing I always do, I always pull on these, make sure they're tight, nothing's coming off or falling out. Looking good here. Nothing in door jams, looks like an issue there. I'm gonna point out here, it looks like maybe a seatbelt or something got caught up in that one. On these economy cars, that kind of does some damage. Alright, we are on the passenger side looking in again. These seats also in good shape. There's the same all-weather mats in the rear. I like the design on that. It's kind of cool with the leaf. Same thing, back's nice and tight. This does have rear charge ports here. Looks like lightning cables. You kind of have like a hatchback situation here. When I get to the trunk portion, you'll see more of that, but it's kind of cool that you can reach back to your cargo from the back seat. Front seat here, same as driver, really good shape. Door card as well. Glove box works as intended. Does look like there's some records sealed away in this car, which is nice. One thing, I can't use it with my phone, but it does have the phone charger there. It turns on and off, but like I said, my phone doesn't work with that, so I'm unable to make sure of that. And that's going to conclude our interior. Alright, this is going to be the trunk portion of our recording. It does have some cargo in here. Looks like it's got a fix-a-flat kit, not an actual spared. Has all the tools, the tow kit here. Everything looks like it's still sealed. I don't think it's ever been used. Your jack and everything's still there. Let's see if we can... This is no tire down there, so I'm not sure why it gave you all this stuff to take it off, but that's kind of cool, I think. No like emergency flares or anything like that. This Does have a good carpet, kind of hard surface, but it has an all-weather mat there too. Looks really good. And then it also has this privacy cover here, which is really nice if you're ever traveling or gonna leave the car for a while and you have a bunch of stuff you just got in there. It's pretty cool. Slides right back up. Another thing about these Priuses, they are technically like a hatch, so that opens up very tall, very out of the way. I like that a lot. All right, this is going to be the code portion here. We did have a couple faults that we found. They are history codes. One is for the rear door switch on the passenger side. That switch and the master switch both work on the window as intended. Like I said, history code. The other one for the navigation system says it's a history code for disconnecting the antenna. The navigation system is unsubscribed through the app, so you would have to activate that as well. But radio, satellite, everything works as intended there, so no concerns. Everything else passed without fault. We're going to move over to some more monitors and live information. All right, these are going to be our monitors after the drive. They all check out really good. That's what we like to see. Green checks means that everything was in parameters for the vehicle's monitoring systems. Down here you can also see that the VIN matches the vehicle's VIN. We always want to make sure those are the same with computer and car. The gray circles are most likely just monitors that are not going to go through this system. They'll have some other way to feed that data. We're going to move on to some hybrid information. Alright, this is just going to be some quick info on the hybrid system. You can see your charge rates, your voltages, command state. It all checks out really well. The hybrid battery system was pretty much fully charged from the car's monitor. This says it's about 60%, and this is after the drive. I did kind of play with the modes and kind of get some of the different settings for like power, eco, and normal driving. The voltage when the car is like the EV off is for your 12-volt batteries around like 12.2, 12.3. And then while everything's on, you're about 14.5, 14.6, right around in there. So all of that system is working really well as well. That's going to be our little deeper dive with the hybrid system. All right, this is going to be the conclusion portion here. Overall, this car checks out really well. Does look like they've had newer brakes, tires done on it. On the drive, the car has some pretty good get up and go. It is an economy car, so I don't expect to win any races. Does have 3 different settings, eco, normal, and power. Does make a difference. Climate, everything works as intended. We did point out some body defects on here. A little bit of misaligned panels on the rear bumper and some dents along the side here. Overall, it doesn't seem like the car was trashed. Pretty good trim option. It has a lot of good creature features, a lot of safety items, a lot of heads up stuff. Does have the upgraded lights, so you got good LEDs with fog lights as well. Not a bad looking color, like nice bright red, almost like a ruby is what I would say. I did note that we have the aftermarket rack, but those are factory aftermarket equipment, so that's good. Overall, car drives, handles well. I did note that we had a little bit of a clunk on the front when on like a slow stop, like when I was in traffic. It's not like abrupt, it's just very subtle. I had to turn the music down for that. All the glass is in really good shape. I did make note we had the front windshield replaced, but like I said, it all works out. You can always tell by factory glass and non-factory glass by the Toyota brand. Overall, I would give this a good inspection. It didn't have any concerns for me while I was looking at it. All the systems seem to be checking out nominal as well. The hybrid system seems happy. Everything comes on, kicks on easily. And there's no real it's very seamless between like the engine kicking on and the hybrid system, so you're not feeling any jolts or any kind of sudden takeover. It's very seamless, so I'm gonna give this a good inspection.